So if I were to say, like, what's at the heart of the sort of, like, why is the Democrat propaganda machine so fired up to destroy me? That's the main reason. The main reason is that entitlements fraud. That includes like Social Security, disability, Medicaid. Entitlements fraud for illegal aliens is what is serving as a gigantic magnetic force to pull people in from all around the world and keep them here. Like basically, if you pay people at a standard of living that is above 90% of Earth, then you have a very powerful incentive for 90% of Earth to come here and to stay here. But if you end the illegal alien fraud, then you turn off that magnet, and they leave, and they stop coming, and the ones that are here, many of them will simply leave.
Obviously. Yeah, we're giving them a bunch of money and we're giving them jobs under the table. Fucking duh. Find me look at the behavior, find the incentive, change the behavior. Wow, what a surprise. I can't believe it. It's like, here's an example. Like in WoW, everybody does ICC to get invincible. There's if they took invincible out of that raid, everybody stopped doing the raid. Because they do it because it drops the mount. They take the mount out, people stop doing it. It's fucking common sense.
And if that happens,
everything referenced to WoW,
they will lose a massive number of Democratic voters.
And if it didn't happen, they would turn those people into voters.
Correct.
Which they were trying to do.
They're already turning them. So in New York State, illegal aliens can already vote in state and city elections.
I don't know about that.
A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
I mean, they're trying to fight that, they're trying to stop that, but they're currently, I think it's like 600,000 are registered to vote, illegal aliens, in New York.
Sounds like bullshit. We're going to look it up. Okay, so it seems like that's not really going on. Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, that's crazy. Right? I mean, I don't think so. They could vote in New York because you aren't allowed to show your ID. Like, you have to show something, though, right? I mean, you can't just say, like, I'm here. Like, so how does it work? So, like, let me get this straight. So, in New York, you just go up to a ballot box and you just vote. There's, like, no checks for this shit at all? You need to register. Okay, so you have to be registered to vote then. No, you don't? What? Do you have to be registered to vote in New York? Yes. You have to be a U.S. citizen. Registration is mandatory. But how do they check? So, wait a minute. How do they... I don't understand this. How do they check? Period. How do they verify? You missed a paragraph in the first response? I don't see this. The last paragraph? There's no evidence. Imprisonment only affect illegal non-citizens. Is affirmed. No, they register a fake name. A driver's license, your name on the list. Last paragraph of the second answer. So yes, registration is mandatory. No registration, no vote. Simple as that. Verification, New York doesn't require voter ID at the polls for most registered voters. Just your signature was just checked against your registration record. So then they do have voter ID. But it's just not asked for while you're there. It's just indirect. You can fake a signature. But in order to fake a signature, you'd have to be committing identity theft. And if you're committing identity theft, then you could just vote no matter what. That's a felony. Well, what I'm saying is like, so that's no different than like here, for example. You can fake IDs too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? So like you can fake a signature, you can fake an ID. I feel like you can make this shit up no matter what. Read the first bullet point. New York State Constitution specifies that every citizen is entitled to vote. This has been interpreted to exclude non-citizens, including undocumented immigrants, from voting. Federal law also prevents non-citizens from voting in federal election in New York. No. We're not seeing this. I don't know. Like, all right, I'm not sure about this.
That is wild.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at, say, FEMA, like the agency that was paying for illegal aliens to stay at luxury hotels in New York was FEMA. That's an agency that's meant to support Americans in distress from natural disasters, was paying for luxury hotels for illegals in New York.
It's true. Yeah.
That's a fact.
Fact.
They're literally, like, when we stopped that payment,
This did happen?
we stopped all those monies, because that's obviously an insane way to spend taxpayer money.
I agree with that.
The New York sued the federal government to get the money. Mm-hmm. So you could just look at their lawsuit. They were sending that money even after President Trump signed an executive order saying it needs to stop. They still press send on $80 million to luxury hotels in New York. Your tax.
So they did the thing, even though the president said not to do the thing. I mean, like, can't you charge them for that or something? Like, I mean, like, there's got to be something you got to do about this. Here's the thing, right? Is like, you got these people roaching out again. They weren't even luxury hotels. It was worse. They were regular hotels charging the city luxury prices. It said it didn't. Here's what actually happened. Reimbursed FEMA through its shelter and services program, reimbursed New York City for costs related to housing migrants. They received about $80 million. The hotels weren't luxury either. Found that the city paid an average of $156 a night. That's luxury. What the fuck? That's cheap for New York? Yeah, I'd say that's cheap. FEMA did pay to house migrants, but not in luxury hotels and not with disaster relief money. I still want my money back? Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, I do too. Like, I don't want to spend any money on this shit either, but still. Why aren't they paying $150 a night for me? That's a fact. That's a fact. You're paying $150 a night for some random fucking migrant and not a citizen. That's a fucking fact. Absolutely. Now you're asking the important questions.
Money went to pay for illegal aliens in luxury hotels in New York from an agency that is meant to help Americans in distress from natural disasters.
Right, and I would like to
That's
know
fucked
how
up.
much, and I would like to know how much they spent on North Carolina and how much they spent on Maui.
Yes, exactly. What's actually happening is they're buying voters. That's really what's happening. It's like a giant voter fraud scam.
See, like, I think he's right. It's just that it's not right. He's not right in this specific way. Like, I think that, like, the effect is the same.
They're importing voters, and it's really just a matter of time. So, like, if a lot of people have
So what
trouble.
I'm saying is, like, so what I mean by that is that they're importing voters two ways, right? Number one is that they import them, and then the people have kids here, and then the kids vote, right? Because they're citizens, and then the kids have a degree of, you know, like, on average, probably a degree of generosity towards the people that allowed their family to stay here. It's a long-term perspective. So, like, and also, isn't the amount of congressional seats that you get based off of your overall population as well? I think that there's that as well. Yes. And so, like, you do have this happening. I just think that he's not using a good argument for it. That's all.
Trouble believing this.
So
but
that's what I meant to say.
The more you look at it, the more you will realize just how much of a problem this is, and how it's not just real. It is. It is an attempt to destroy democracy in America. That's what, in my view, it is what it really is. Like, if you take the sort of 7 swing states, like, often the margin of victory there is like maybe 20,000 votes.
It's not that many.
If you put 200,000 illegals in there, and they have.
By the way, this is the reason why you don't want Canada to join America, is because there's a bunch of fucking liberals up there. They're going to vote for this bullshit every time. Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Like a 80% likelihood of voting Dem. And it's only a matter of time before they become citizens. Then those swing states will not be swing states in the future. And if they are not swing states, we'll be a permanent one-party state country.
Uh-oh.
Permanent deep blue socialist state. That's what America will become.
And that was the game plan.
That was the game plan. That is still the game plan.
And so
they almost succeeded. If the machine of which the Kamala puppet was the representation had won, that's what would have happened. The reason I went so hardcore for Trump was because, to me, this was a fork in the road, a very obvious fork in the road. If they had another 4 years, they would legalize enough illegals in the swing states to make the swing states not swing states. They would be blue states.
I mean, like, if I was them, that's what I would try to do. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, like, because if I was trying to win the election, that's what I would do.
Then they would win the presidential. They'd win the House, the Senate, and the presidency. They would then make district, D.C. into a state. Maybe Puerto Rico, get 4 extra senators, pack the Supreme Court. So then you'll have the House, Judiciary, Senate, and presidency, all blue. And then they will keep importing more illegals.
Yeah, because then nobody can stop them.
That outcome.
Exactly.
Basically what happened in California.
I bet he's going to say wow. I bet Joe's going to say wow.
Jesus Christ.
It would.
Okay, all right. I got it wrong.
Would have been the end. That's why I went so hardcore for Trump. It was otherwise been the end, and that's why the Democrat machine is so intent on destroying me.
It's just so fascinating that people can't see this.
I mean, I invite people to do their research. The more they do their research, the more they will see that what I'm saying
I mean, but I don't know.
is absolutely true.
I don't know, man. Like, I feel like the whole thing about them living in that, I feel like that's not really. I mean, unless maybe this is wrong. I mean, you could say it's wrong for sure, but like, it's just really it's hard. It's hard to know. Everybody always lying, man. Yeah, you searching up two Grok prompts is research. I mean, like, what do you want me to do? You want me to read a Wikipedia? Do you want me to read a page of this on CNN? You think CNN's going to give it a better shake? You think MSNBC? You think a news story about this that's like owned by another fucking billionaire is gonna? They're gonna be the ones that are gonna tell you what the reality is. Yeah, no, definitely, for sure, guys, for sure. And yeah, sources right there. Click them. Yeah, and you also have the sources. Like, you just look at it right here. Yeah, and so like Daily Mail, fire chief putting illegal migrants, 5-star hotel, reveals. So like this is a person, she's seeking compensation. Musk misleads on FEMA migrant related payments. Factcheck.org, Snopes, and also like, I mean, Politico, fucking Snopes, like Daily Mail. Like, am I really gonna listen to these people and say, oh yeah, this is true? No, not really. But yeah, my goal is just to know what happened. That's really, am I crazy? I feel like there's so much of a desire to just know what the fuck happened. Because now you can never know what the fuck happens with anything. Because everybody making up a bunch of bullshit about everything. Yeah, nice sources. Yeah. And so, like, that's really the point that I'm getting at, right? It's insane. And I just don't understand it at all. And, it's very frustrating for me to see this happen. It is.